Well, hello, Freedom Cruisaholics family, and welcome back to our channel.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
So today we are going to be talking about tips for first-time cruisers and some of the things that you should be on the lookout and be cognizant of when you take your first trip. The first thing is
updated identification documents.
So by that we mean making sure that your driver's license has been updated. If your birthday is coming or has come on the month that you are cruising, please make sure you go to the DMV and get the updated driver's license. I know that some of the DMVs will not print you out a license there, but they will give you a printed document with your picture on it with your new date and expiration date, and you can utilize this printed out document as long as it came from the DMV. So please make sure that you follow up and make sure that you check all of your identifications that have expiration dates and make sure that they are truly up to date.
That happened to us one time. Actually, thank God, I just happened to, I don't know how this happened, but I just happened to look at my license on the way to a cruise, and the right time and us leaving early and everything, we were able to stop and be able to get my license renewed. Remember that, baby?
Yes.
It was
he almost was left. He was almost left. I don't know how we decided to look at his driver's license and everything, but took him on a cruise for his birthday. He was so excited, didn't check those documents, and like he said, lo and behold, on the way to Alabama, before we left out of North Carolina, we were right on the North Carolina line. He checked his license, saw that it had expired, and we were about 14 miles from a DMV, and we had to go to that DMV, and thank God they were able to update his information and give him out that printed document that I was speaking upon earlier.
Yeah, so everything worked out.
So please make sure you check your ID and your driver's license to make sure that they are not expired.
All right, moving right along, you guys. Notifying your banks about your cards, different credit cards.
Yes. So if you're like me and some other Americans that have been victim of identity theft, you have alerts put on your accounts, and nowadays that is a good thing to have. So make sure that you notify your bank if you're going to be utilizing a card that you use frequently, or you don't have multiple banks and you're using your card outside of the U.S. when you go to different ports. Please alert your bank that you will be traveling between the dates of your traveling, and they will put an alert on there so that they will know that you are in fact out of the country and you are the one that is actually using your card. Otherwise, when you try to use your card, it will be blocked and declined, and you don't want to be in that type of situation that far away from home. So please alert your banks that you are, or your credit card company, that you are doing some international traveling. Sometimes it's a good idea. What I've chosen to do and what my husband has chosen to do is to have a designated card just for traveling purposes, so that we won't have to contact each and every one of our providers. So that is a good tip to have as well, to have one designated card for traveling purposes. That will eliminate having to contact several individuals. So please contact your banks and let them know that you will be traveling international and you may possibly use your card.
All right. Number 3 would be checking the packing restrictions for the cruise line that you're going on or going with.
Yes. So several cruising companies have different variations of what they allow you to bring and what they don't allow you to bring. You are allowed to bring with Carnival. Like I said, we travel primarily with Carnival, so we'll be speaking mostly about information for Carnival. So if you're traveling with Carnival, you are allowed to bring one 750 milliliter bottle of wine, not liquor, wine, on your carry-on, not in your luggage, but on your carry-on, in your carry-on, excuse me. That's per person, not per couple, per person. 750 milliliter bottle of wine. That's the average bottle of wine. Also, each individual in your cabin is allowed to bring a 12-pack of canned, not bottled, not twist bottles, but canned soda beverages. Each individual. So if you have 4 individuals that can carry a 12-pack of soda, each one can carry a 12-pack of soda onto the cruise ship. You're also allowed to carry, if you have medications that have to be carried in a cooler, one of the smaller coolers, like a 12 by 12, can be towed onto the cruise ship as a carry-on. Not for your regular luggage that is checked, but for your carry-on, you may have a 12 by 12 cooler with your medications in there. Nothing in a carton, nothing in a bottle besides your wine, but you can have canned beverages. So yes, you can bring bottled water, canned water. You don't find too many of those. However, you can purchase a 12-pack of water on the cruise ship for a very minimal price. So keep that in mind as well. And just to piggyback on checking with your bank provider, also check with your cell phone provider so that you can choose the international package for your cell phone. Because in U.S. waters, even though you're in U.S. waters, you can be charged roaming fees. Those can be very, very, very expensive. So please reach out to your cell phone provider to grab yourself the international roaming package. Usually, we're with AT&T. That package is usually $10. And you can get it on one phone or get it on both phones, or however many phones is on your package. You have that option as well. But please do that so that you will not get charged those international roaming charges. And now that U.S. is over U.S. Virgin Islands and Mexico, as well as Bahamas, when you use your phone, it will be just like you're making a local call. So don't forget to check with your cell phone providers, letting them know that you're going to be traveling, and let them guide you with whatever package you need or may not need for your traveling purposes.
Yep. And since we're talking about cell phone, also, when you're on the cruise boat, please make sure you turn your phone onto airplane mode. Okay?
Absolutely. If you are one of those ones that, and your provider does not have that international package, please make sure that you turn your phone onto airplane mode once you're on the ship, to be on the safe side. But if you're one of those ones that really pay attention to detail, once the ship starts sailing and doing the going away party and the ship has started moving into the international waters, please make sure that your phone is in fact on airplane mode. This will eliminate all roaming charges. There are packages that you can purchase through Carnival to whereas when you put it on airplane mode, you can still have a package that you buy through Carnival that will allow you to still get on your social media, and as well as utilizing different internet packages on the ship. So make sure, airplane mode, everyone. Airplane mode, even if you don't like to fly, try to fly this time. It's free. All right?
Please. All right. Moving on to the next one. Bring cash. Bring cash for tipping. Bring cash for when you're off the cruise boat, and for the different vendors. We suggest not using a card.
If you don't have to use your credit card or your debit card in destinations of port, please try not to do so, just to help eliminate the potential of you having some kind of fraud on your bank card. So bringing cash is a good thing. we didn't per se find that out the hard way. However, we didn't bring cash with us, and so when we got to one of our ports of destination, I went to use the ATM, and it was going to cost me $15 just to use the ATM. Now, I don't know how about many people, and I don't spend very frivolously, but I will not pay $15 to use an ATM. If I'm getting $10 out or $20 out and I'm paying double what I'm getting out just to use it, I don't think that's very beneficial. So please make sure that you have cash. There is an ATM on the ship that charges anywhere from $6 to $8. I do believe it's $6 though, for you to utilize that ATM. Also be in mind that even though you pay the $6 for that ATM, your bank will also charge you for using an ATM that is not related to that bank. So you'll have almost a $10 charge for using the ATM. So please, if you can, bring cash with you to be able to tip, like my husband said, to tip your stewardess, to tip your bartenders, because they don't make a whole lot of money. And the ship will charge you gratuity for all of the helpmates on the ship. Now, if you spend a particular amount of time in a certain area like the casino or at the bar or out on the Lido deck, and you have your personal person that comes around and gives you drinks like how we had, we like to do that, make sure you have cash on you so you can tip that person that is going above and beyond for you. Your stewardess keeping your room the way you want it, make sure you have cash to tip your stewardess for your room, to give them that extra kick versus your tip being divided with the gratuities among every housemate on the ship, including those in the spa. So if you don't utilize the spa, your money shouldn't be going towards the spa. So please make sure that you're doing that, bringing the cash to tip your stewardess. Now, that gratuity that will be put on your sign and sale card is usually done 2 days or a day and a half before the end of the trip. It used to be put on the second day of the trip, but they have kind of changed that a little bit. So they usually put it on about a day to a day and a half prior to the last day of the cruise. Now you have an option to get that gratuity removed. Please keep that in mind. You can remove that gratuity and tip at your leisure and tip whomever you feel like deserves that tip. So please keep that in mind. Check your bill and make sure that everything is on your bill is correct.
Yes, and you know what? Another video we'll probably go in more detail about getting the gratuity removed if you prefer to do it on your own. So be looking out for another video for that.
Okay.
All right. So we're moving right along. About keeping your documents, keeping them on you, on your carry-on, instead of packing it away.
Yes. That, my friends, is very, very, very important. You don't know how many times we've been on cruises and we've seen people not able to get on the ship because their luggage has already been given to the hoppers, and the hoppers have already packed it and is starting to load it onto the ship, and their boarding passes as well as their ID and their passports are in their luggage, and they are not allowed to get on the ship having paid for a vacation.
And you hate to see that, and it's their first time, just because they didn't know, but we just hate for that to happen,
So please make sure that your ID is on your person, on your carry-on, in your carry-on, just like you would do if you were at home. If your purse is with you and your ID is with you, follow suit when you go on vacation to make sure these things are on you at all times. Because not only with getting on the ship, also when you get off of the ship, you cannot get back on the ship if your passport and your key is in your room. If you have your key card with you and your passport is in your room, someone will have to go to your room, and that is very time consuming, if that, but they will not allow you to get back on that ship without the proper documentation. So please make sure that you have your boarding pass in your purse or in your carry-on, as well as your pictured ID. your boarding pass and your picture ID on you when you are embarking to get on the ship. Do not, I repeat, do not place that into your luggage. It needs to be in your carry-on with you when you're going through to embark into the ship.
Yep. All right. Next. So next, optional, but we suggest going and having a doctor's appointment before going on your cruise, and also being able to bring your medications, prescriptions, sunscreen, different stuff like that, versus forgetting and having to purchase those things when you're on the boat, because they can be very expensive.
Yes. The checkup, like my husband said, is optional. It's just to make sure that you're in good health, you don't have any high blood pressure and things like that. That probably could be a problem or be problematic when you get on the ship for any odd reason. So make sure that you're in good health. If you are pregnant, your gynecologist will guide you, and they will have to give you a documentation stating that you are able to go on a cruise at your terms of pregnancy. So make sure that you do that, and you'll have to bring that documentation with you. That's only for pregnant people that you will have to bring this documentation. However, just optional, like my husband said, to get, if you're older, it'll probably be a good thing to get a health assessment done prior to getting on the ship. If you take medications on a daily basis, please make sure that you have those prescription medications with you in your carry-on, because you never know if something may happen. You want to be able to get it immediately. So make sure your medications are with you in your carry-on. Make sure that you have your medications with you when you come on the trip, because those things you need to have access to immediately. Even the incidentals such as ibuprofen, Tylenol,
Yes.
Make sure you bring those with you in your carry-on as well, because the Tylenol, ibuprofen, Aleve, those types of things are in the gift shop on the ship. However, they are more expensive than they would be if you were to purchase them previous to getting onto the ship. Okay?
All right. Let's talk about charging outlets in the rooms, as far as like the new ships and older ships.
So the older ships, they have 2 plugs right by the mirror. Some of them have already started incorporating the lamps with the USB charger on it. It's going to be ship dependent, but all of the newer ships are coming with more charging ports around the room. So the charging ports are very, very limited on the older ships. You may have on the newer ships, each lamp has a USB port charger incorporated in the lamp. By the mirror, there are 2 plugs for you to plug up different items. I would suggest that you order you a port charging outlet that usually has anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 charging ports on it, as well as 2 plugs. Do not get the charging outlets that has a cord or drop cord connected to it, or that has a surge protector, because the ship's electricity lines are a little bit different than those of a house. So a surge protector will kind of mix up the circuits on a ship. So where you would think that a surge protector is what you need, on a ship it is totally opposite. So do not bring a charging strip that has a surge protector on it, as it will be confiscated and they will go through your luggage to get it out of there, because we want to make sure that everyone is safe on the ship. It will have a reverse action or reaction than what you would think would happen in your household. So please don't bring a surge protector that has a strip or a surge protector on it. Utilize the one that is approved for cruise ship accessories. All right?
Okay. All right. Make sure that you bring a watch watch or some kind of device that you can set as far as the ship time. That is very important for your first time cruises or anybody, because whenever you're getting off for different excursions or different activities or whatever, you want to make sure you have the correct ship time, because you do not want to be left.
And we have seen that happen.
Yes, we have.
Didn't really know what was going on at first, but after a while, we knew exactly what was going on. So please, a lot of times, you do excursions. If you book your excursion with the ship, mind you, at the excursion desk, those individuals will make sure that you are back to the ship on time. I know that there are some people that choose to do excursions with the locals and have the locals to bring them back, and all transactions are taken through that local person. Yes, those are cheaper, and sometimes you'll run across someone that was very good. But unfortunately, there are some times that people opt to work with the locals and get things cheaper, and they don't make it back to the ship on time because they're not on the ship's times. The local does not know the ship's exact time. So you want to make sure that you have a device that is going to be marked at ship's time and will not update to your land time. We do utilize our cell phones, but cell phones are not as accurate if you stay on land long enough. It will revert to that land's time. All right? So you want to be very cognizant of that and have you a regular watch that will not update. So a smart watch in another country won't be as beneficial to you if you're on a ship. All right? So really keep that in mind. If you choose to keep your smartwatch on and utilize your smartwatch, please research, go talk to someone at guest services to see the differences in the time so that you can look at your watch in that additional time or subtract the time that you need. So it will be best to just get you a watch or a device that will hold only ship's time, that will not update unless it's manually updated. Okay?
All right. Arrive at the port at your assigned time.
So a few years ago, Carnival decided to start having a arrival time designated for each passenger on the ship on embarkation day. This was to help to facilitate embarkation to be smoother and everyone not rushing in at one time, and it has been fairly decent. If you get there earlier than your time, they will have you to wait, because when you come there, your name and everything is already in the roster and they have you designated for a time. If you come earlier than your time, you may be asked to wait to the side until your time. However, if you come a little bit after your time, they will accommodate you because your time has already passed, and they want to make sure that everyone gets on the ship that they have purchased their tickets for. So be cognizant of that. Arrive at the port early so that you can make your arrival time, so that we can keep the lines moving, or should I say Carnival can keep the lines moving. I've been cruising so long, I feel like I'm part of the family. You see how I said we? Yes, so that they can keep the lines moving and everybody can get on the ship and start their vacation on time.
Okay. Moving right along. All right, you guys, about taking the mustard drill seriously. I must say, I was one of those people. I see a lot of those people when it's time to have the drill for emergencies to show you what you need to do. Everybody complains about it. Nobody wants to go. Everybody can't wait till it's over. But I must say that I've changed my thinking about it. It's very important. Actually, baby, you can kind of tell everybody what it is for the people that might not even know.
So at the mustard drill, when everyone gets on the ship, before the ship can even leave the port, there is a emergency mustard drill. That's what it's called. And each person on the ship, depending on where their accommodations are on the ship, are assigned to a mustard station. It will be followed with a letter and a number. It is based on the location you are accommodating on the ship. It is very important what this mustard station does. You have people in security that will teach you what will happen in event of an emergency. If the ship has to be evacuated, what you need to do based on where you are on the ship. It is very, very important that you do not miss this drill. If you are shown that you are on the ship and you do not come to the muster drill, and they will make sure they don't start the drill until everyone has been accounted for. Now, if they cannot find you and it does show that you've been checked in, you may be removed from the ship without a refund. So please, not only keeping your safety in mind, that should be the very important thing, but please just make sure you make it to the muster station and be considerate of other people that have taken vacation from their jobs to enjoy their vacations. So first and foremost, your safety comes first. Please think enough of yourself to make sure that you want to protect yourself as well as your family, and take consideration of other people that have come onto a vacation to be able to enjoy a vacation. So please do that for each other.
So I make sure now not to complain, and it's only for our own good, and I make sure to pay attention and everything instead of wanting to skip out on it. They changed it. You can't skip out on it. So just take it seriously is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
All right. The next one is about bringing your headgear. Bring some headgear. Bring you some sunglasses. Out there on that Lido deck, the sun is bright, it's hot, and you really need some protection. I'm bald-headed. I have to have my cap, something to cover my head up. I mean, it feels like the sun is cooking me. I need my sunshades. It's bad, you guys. So please bring your headgear and your sunscreen and all that. It's very important.
Yes, make sure that you bring your sunscreen for those. Make sure you have sunscreen for yourself and for your little ones. Yes. There are bars on the Lido deck. If you have the drink package, you should already have a drink in your hand. I know I will. Yes. So if you have the drink package, or if you do not, please make sure that you get some liquids in you. Stay hydrated because it is going to be hot out there. And like my husband said, if you're bald-headed or if you have some type of skin issue and you don't need to be out in the sun, make sure you have your sunscreen on, because we don't want to hear about any problems on the ship or someone develop any kind of skin issues after having been exposed to the sun like that. So make sure that you have your headgear, whether it's a hat for the ladies or a scarf for the ladies, or a gentleman's hat for the gentleman, and make sure you have the sunscreen for yourself and your little ones, because your little ones, there is a pool on the Lido deck and it can keep them cool, but we still want to make sure we protect their little skins by putting sunscreen on them.
Yep. Also, it is good for you to have comfortable shoes. Yes. Comfortable walking shoes.
Ladies. I know we want to be cute. We do. Trust me, we do. I love shoes. That's my thing. But when you are going on vacation, we're not going to a ballroom dance. Maybe one night we are. But throughout the ship, you want to make sure that you have some cute sandals. You can find some cute sandals with a little bedazzle on them. Yes, you can still be cute, honey. You can still be cute and show your toes and everything, but please don't try to wear heels all day and all night trying to be cute, because ladies, at the end of the night, you will not feel cute. Let me tell you. So make sure that you have comfortable shoes. Flats are fine. Tennis shoes if you want to do the walking trail. Just have you some comfortable shoes, ladies. We don't have to worry about the men. They'll slide their little slides in or their flip-flop. They don't care. As long as they got them a little something in their cup, they're fine. But we just want to be cute. But we can be cute, ladies, when we're flat. All right?
All right. And the last thing with that, along these lines, is also bringing a light jacket for at nighttime. Maybe when you're out watching a movie on the deck or whatever, it can kind of get cool. So,
and I can vouch for that. If you're anemic like I am, you'll need a little jacket. The first burst of wind that blows, honey, I feel it. So you want to make sure you have a little light jacket, like my husband says. And sometimes when we watch the movies out, I have me a little thin blanket that crosses my legs. So please, At night it gets a little cool, the breeze gets a little cool. Just have your little light jacket so you can be comfortable all the time on your vacation.
Yep. All right, you guys, I know it's a little long, but we're trying to make sure you got all the good information you need in case this is your first time cruising. We got a couple more points. The next one would be when you're there, unpack your bags, unpack your suitcase. Make yourself feel like home is better. It's just better versus being on vacation and living out of your suitcase.
And we used to do that.
Yes, we did.
Because we was ready to get right on it. But unpacking is such a good thing to do. They have enough space in your room for you to be able to do so. And that way when you come in and out, you know what drawer certain things are in. You just reach in the drawer, get what you need, and follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy.
All right. Another one for your first time cruisers. Bring a small little decoration, something small or something to put on your door. Just so you can kind of tell your door from everybody else's. It can get where you walking down that hall, all the doors look the same, everything, and you can easily get mixed up, especially if you done had a couple of drinks from that drink package. You can be going to the wrong door with that. I mean,
hey,
it happens.
Hey, why you want to let me in?
Exactly.
It's not your room. That's why.
Please, it has happened. Everything looks the same, so put something on the door that kind of let you know where your door is.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't want to be interrupting anybody, especially if you've left comedy club and those have already turned in for whatever the reason may be. Don't come knocking on my door. It's not yours. All right.
After a couple of drinks, everything looks the same. So please just
make sure you get it together.
All right, you guys. And this last one we got about washing your hands and sanitizing your hands as much as you can on the trip.
Yes. We are healthcare fanatics, so we are sticklers for washing hands and sanitizing your hands. Anybody that knows me can tell you I always have sanitizers everywhere, in my car, in my bags, around my neck, on my waist. Hand sanitizers everywhere.
Taking up all the space in the bathroom.
And it's
Bath
fine.
and Body Works. Okay.
I tell you what, I'm not a walking germ. I'm clean, squeaky.
Everywhere.
So, little ones, there are hand washing stations throughout the ship. There are hand sanitation with sanitizer stations throughout the ship. Please make sure you wash your hands and sanitize your hands regularly to eliminate the spread of germs and to lessen the amount of germs that are floating through on the ship.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those are just a few of the tips that we wanted to share with you guys for your first time cruisers or you seasoned cruisers. So keep in mind, we have plenty more videos coming up that will be giving you a little bit more information about other topics on cruising and cruising for the first time. Mm-hmm. So if you are interested in those things, why don't you subscribe to our channel? Yes. And hit the notification bell right beside the subscribe button so that you will be notified when we upload individual videos for particular topics. So until the next time that we see you, we'll see you on the high seas, and hopefully we run into you on the ship. Until then, bye.
See ya.